Don't need this stinking planet! I'll just use my Galick Gun and blow the whole thing up! Kakarot! Dodge this next attack if you can! But even if I miss you, this whole planet's going up in smoke!
That's not fair!
Say goodbye to your planet, Kakarot! Let's see what you've got, Kakarot! Galick Gun, fire!
Remember, some of your cells compose me. Galick Gun, fire!
Hello everyone, Poohhead189 here, and today we are going to be talking about the Galick Gun, one of the most iconic techniques in Dragon Ball history. Yet, oddly enough, the Galick Gun is surprisingly unpopular. Not that people dislike it, but hardly anyone ever talks about it or cites it as their favorite technique, despite the fact it was utilized in the most iconic and popular beam struggle in all of anime history. Additionally, it's hardly ever used or seen even in any of the supplementary material or filler. I believe it is used once or twice in Super, but it is only ever used once in the original manga, and shown one more time in filler, before it disappears until Dragon Ball Super. Granted, it might have been used once in GT as well, but in general it's an extremely rare technique, far more rare than it deserves. It wasn't ever used in any of the 13 Z movies that we received, for instance, and I always found that quite strange. The Galick Gun, otherwise known as Garlic Cannon or Gyariku Ho in the original Japanese, is introduced in chapter 231 in the Dragon Ball manga. The technique is popularly known for its deep purple aura, as the anime, as well as all the material used after the original manga, portray it with that coloring. However, in the original manga, the technique is yellow. That is not surprising, however, as yellow tends to be used for the coloring of any attack that is notably powerful to indicate that it is powerful, unless it already previously had a unique color like the Kamehameha. The Galick Gun seems to have been made as an intentional parallel to the Kamehameha, considering both the Kamehameha and the Galick Gun require the user to cup their hands as they gather energy, and it is the same type of straightforward beam attack rather than something more rare and specialized, like the Tri-Beam or the Destructo Disc. The main difference between the Galick Gun and the Kamehameha, other than the coloring, is that the Kamehameha is only shot out of the cupped hands. The Galick Gun envelops the entire user in its aura, and the hands of the user is not the barrel of the beam, but they are more used to guide the direction the beam fires. Which makes sense, as the Galick Gun appears to be made for destruction rather than precision or modification, like many of Vegeta's techniques. The Galick Gun, the Big Bang attack, and the Final Flash are all very straightforward, very powerful attacks meant to wipe out anything in their way. And that all seems very in line with how Vegeta fights. And honestly, there is nothing wrong with that. As a Saiyan, and a powerful one at that, while he can be more precise in how he does things, since Vegeta is quite a talented fighter, his preferred style is destruction. We also do not know the minimum power required to destroy a planet the size of Earth, but Vegeta is confident that his technique will destroy both Goku and the Earth, and that Goku's only hope of surviving is dodging it, condemning the Earth to a fiery death. We do need to discuss a small contradiction, however. It is clear from the narrative that the Saiyans are unable to lower, hide, or raise their battle powers, yet Vegeta uses a specific technique as a final gambit to destroy Goku and the Earth, which implies it is somehow more powerful or potent than a normal ki blast of Vegeta's full power. So either there is something unique about the Galick Gun, or no one had ever simply read Vegeta's power when using it, and Vegeta just knows it is somehow better. Also, this attack is utilized near the end of a somewhat lengthy fight, and both Goku and Vegeta are now likely weaker than when they first began the fight from both exertion and battle damage. So we can only guess how powerful both of them are during the beam struggle. It's possible Goku could be slightly over 5,000, and Vegeta could be around 15,000, and Goku's Triple Kaioken brings him up to Vegeta's level. Or Vegeta's power does raise from the attack, and we could theorize that Goku's Triple Kaioken brings him close to 20,000, and Vegeta's battle power raises unbeknownst to Vegeta to match it. It does seem that the Galick Gun is extremely potent, considering Goku's Triple Kaioken was one step ahead of Vegeta in close quarters combat, but when Goku utilized it with his Kamehameha, the Galick Gun matched it. But again, Goku's power could have potentially lowered more quickly than Vegeta's, equaling their strength. But to go back to the beginning again, considering Vegeta was confident he could destroy Goku even when utilizing the Kaioken times 3, it gives credence to the theory that the Galick Gun is much stronger than other attacks Vegeta uses. The only other time we see the technique used in the original anime is when Semi-Perfect Cell uses it against Ascended Super Saiyan Vegeta, attempting to unnerve Vegeta by attacking him with a stolen technique of his. But this is merely filler, and while he calls it a Galick Gun, and it is also purple, Cell is not covered in the aura like Vegeta was. We only see the beam fly out from his hands, like the Kamehameha. However, considering it is called a Galick Gun, it has more right to be considered one compared to most attacks Dragon Ball Wiki cites as one of the Galick Gun's variations. Seriously, you should check it out. There are so many random beam attacks that look and act nothing like the original Galick Gun that the wiki says is a variation, from the one-handed blast Vegeta uses to kill Zarbon, to the finger blast Kid Vegeta uses to kill a Cyberman in the Bardock Special, to even calling the Big Bang attack a completely different technique, a variation. They even say the blast he uses to kill Pui Pui is one, supposedly because Vegeta uses both hands. That is not even the main aspect of the technique. Vegeta uses two hands for most of his attacks, except rare techniques like the Big Bang attack. The most notable aspect of the Galick Gun is that the beam erupts from the entirety of the body, not the hands, and the hands are merely there as ways to control its direction. Hell, when Piccolo threw Child Gohan at the mountain, Gohan's blast there has more in common with the original Galick Gun than most of the attacks listed in Dragon Ball Wiki. The only ones I can see having some form of similarity, where they might, just might, be connected, is what the wiki calls the Final Burst Cannon, which is an attack that uses both hands to fire a beam of energy, and the entire body is enveloped in aura. Vegeta uses it twice against Frieza, once against Second Form Frieza, and the other against Final Form Frieza, though both beams seem to have little to no effect on the Tyrant. Though to be fair to Vegeta, Final Form Frieza seems to be far superior to Vegeta, yet he does take Vegeta's attack seriously when Vegeta unleashes it, kicking it away rather than merely tanking it with no thought to defense. It sort of reminds me of Cell's realization that Vegeta's Final Flash shouldn't be underestimated right before it hits. The attack, meaning what is referred to as the Final Burst Cannon, does fall in line with most of the parameters of the original Galick Gun, and could potentially be a real variation. However, the original Galick Gun's aura looks more wild, with a more burst-like effect, whereas the Final Burst Cannon appears to be more controlled in its aura and output. It's unknown if that makes it better or worse, but that is the main difference from what I can surmise. Also, one more similarity between the two techniques is that the anime also showcases both times it is used with a purple aura, like the Galick Gun, though strangely unlike the Galick Gun, the first attack of the Final Burst Cannon in the anime appears to not have the entire aura covering Vegeta like it does in the manga, which is really odd. I don't know why they would take that away. Either way, it does appear that technique is somewhat connected to the Galick Gun, whereas most other techniques listed by Dragon Ball Wiki are obviously not. DB Wiki is a great source for reference listings, general beginner information, what happened in what chapter or episode, but I think it's widely known that it is not a great resource for wanting extremely accurate manga information for those already deep in the fandom. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the breakdown of the Galick Gun. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you think I deserve it, and I always welcome comments. Have a great one, guys.